as you know, everybody has been hit really hard over the last months, and this was intended to kind of unite us all together into, supporting those small community businesses that are always with us, no matter what. Our villages, our towns, uh, our counties are made out of those people that are always present, not necessarily corporations that are headquartered somewhere else. So I think that the families and those employees that are actively working in those businesses do make a big portion of our community. Not to take away from big wonderful corporations as well. It's just a different type of business approach. I just happen to serve in this particular role that focuses on elevating and promoting family businesses. So that was the main focus of collaborating with Dr. Porter in this project, and you guys, which we're an amazing army. Have you seen the website?
No, but you can pull it up.
Let's do that. So let's see. Fresno.isbackinbusiness.com if you want to join me on the actual. And it's taking a little bit of time. So these are some wonderful stories. Look at that those amazing pictures. I didn't know you guys were into food photography.
They're definitely delicious.
That's from our account.
Tell me that again.
That's from our account.
That's
my group's account. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And there's a lot of those. So you have not just food. I see some other services as well. From art flats to food to food trucks. What do we have here? We have wedding photographers, National Dessert Day. I mean, this is just you guys being so creative. I don't think anyone in our offices could have done what you guys are doing. And I'm hoping that that you take this beyond this assignment and just do it as a public service to everyone, and keep tagging the Craig School of Business, Fresno State, IFB. And more importantly, let's make sure that we're tagging those businesses so that we can follow them and keep mentioning them on social media as we have events that are celebrating them and so forth. We want them to know that this is coming from them. And if they don't have an actual Twitter account, well, this is your opportunity to connect with them and say, I can set it up for you for a minimal fee, right? So this is your first engagement as a consultant in marketing. Like, let me develop your strategy. Let me. This is a great way for you guys to start venturing into being a little entrepreneurial in spirit, if that's the stuff that you want to do in the future, of course.
Well, that's 100%, Dr. Power, because that's the whole philosophy behind this class, is to help them either get a side hustle, do some consulting on the side, or get a job as a social media consultant. So the one of the points is getting them get their feet wet, realize that it's not that hard, and that it's really benefiting people, and they will pay for this. They will pay for this, if you provide them a good service. So that is the point. That is definitely the point.
Trust me, guys. I remember back in the day when I was, a long time ago, when I was your age, I would get calls from individuals that that were pretty prominent in the community, and they were stuck with something so simple, and I would say, really, they want to pay me this amount of money for just doing that, for resetting the computer or just restarting it? This is funny, but it is. Sometimes somebody just needs the help, and you guys have the power of the generation that you are, which is, you've been closer to technology, and some individuals, especially some businesses, have not really passed that curve. So think about that as you're doing this. You're not only helping them, but you're also making a statement, that you are available. And trust me, they may call you back and say, hey, I've been thinking about promoting this in the future. Do you know how to do this? I've gotten calls from businesses, as I travel, to get them set up on Amazon to sell their products. And, just from a conversation that I had, at the airport, and they're like, hey, I saw your card, and I was thinking we really want to venture into the next level. The next thing is going to be able to have a presence in social media and some of these shopping carts that are available. So, so
and you might
once
be able
again,
to figure that out and get certified on Lydia, education, on LinkedIn Education or Lydia that we showed you early on through the library, the local libraries. So you can get certified, and then you'll have some kind of credibility, and it'll teach you how to do it. So definitely don't be afraid to self-learn and go out on your own to figure this stuff out, because people are willing to pay at this point. Go ahead.
great. Dr. Porter, how much time do we have? How much time do I have?
This class goes to 5:50.
Oh my Lord, I could keep you until 9 o'clock, you guys. So I'm gonna try to keep it easy. I like to share two things. I was invited to actually show you how to do a Padlet, which is a tool to create a collage of things. I'm a little disappointed in the way that Padlet works with Twitter, as it does not really bring the stuff up the same way that this does. As you notice, I'm using an application that is aggregating data. So I think it would be worth your time, if I may, to kind of deviate from the plan, if Dr. Porter allows us to just show you how to do this aggregation, because I think that you may use it in the future as a tool for your own business or for any other business that you are looking to help.
Well,
So
first off, is it easier?
It is easier. So if there's, I want to show you both.
Yeah, show me both, and then we'll decide probably right now, or if not Thursday, just because we want it to be easy. And if they're not, if Padlet's not letting you do the Twitter and visualize it the way this is, then, but
Right.
can this do it, because this one also do videos, because some of them did Facebook stories and.
Absolutely, it does. So for purposes of the assignment, I think it's best to stick with the Padlet. And so what I want to do is kind of take a little. Let's start with Padlet then, and then once we finish with Padlet, then I'll show you how you can also aggregate this for future reference.
Okay.
And so that I think would be very wonderful for you guys. All right, so let me start by directing you, please, to go to Padlet. So Padlet.com. Let me type in the actual. Let me type in the information on the chat room. By the way, if you guys have an entrepreneurial spirit, we could always use marketing students in the Family Business Student Association, which is intended to help the next generation of business leaders have some practice and be mentor with some of our family businesses here in the Central Valley. If you want to join one of those companies, or if you are interested in creating your own, some of the information and the guidance that we'll provide through mentorships, seminars, and job placement and internships will be really valuable to you guys. I know that AMA does similar stuff. This just happens to be a way to connect with family businesses in particular that are looking for that talent. So there's nothing wrong with joining more than one organization. So having said that, let me make sure that I'm not blocking this. I'm going to Padlet.com, and I need to show you guys the actual. Let me type in the address for the rest of you, and that is on the chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know if you need me to slow down. Just raise your hand, and that would guide me to let me know that I'm going too fast.
I'll try to be your assistant and look and see if people are doing that, and also in the little raise your hand reactions.
So let me log out first so that you can see what I'm. So when you first start the Padlet, it's going to ask you to sign up. And the way I signed up was just to sign up for free. And you get about, I believe, 3 Padlets for free. And you can certainly create, this Padlet gives you an ability to create a portfolio. So for those of you guys that are thinking of putting together some of your portfolio, some of the actual productions you created, some of your creativity in one place. You can show your future clients, this is a campaign I did for this particular company or that particular company. It's always great to have this on your website or somewhere else so that you can allow people to see that. You can have it on, am I still sharing my screen? It doesn't look like I am.
I can see it.
You can see the top one, this one? Okay, great.
It's in black.
So you can see that you can have an actual wall or a shelf, right? The shelf looks a little more like an actual shelf where you have dividers like that, or you can have a canvas where you freely connect one story or one item to the next. You can also have a stream where you have a single column stream of posts and items that you may want to create, or a wall puts it all together, puts a stream of multiple items. You can also have a timeline or a back channel, a map based on locations, and also you can have a grid. So this is a very simple way of organizing thoughts. It also lets you collaborate with more than one. So if you have a team, you can certainly share that team with someone else, and everybody can actually add in and put it all together. I understand that you guys are in groups of 4. Is that true?
Groups of 3.
Groups of 3. Okay, perfect. So that works out. So I'm going to sign up for free. And to sign up, you can actually sign in with your Google. So use your Google account, and that would be super easy to sign in.
In our so our CSU Fresno or mail at Fresno State is a Google account.
Correct. And so I am choosing one of my many accounts. I might have gone through the wrong one, but let's see if this does it. So guess what? I even get I get a little reminder. What every day, right? Gentle reminder. You're beautiful. Okay.
Very nice.
Thank you. I was doubting that this morning. All right. So we have an actual ability to either join a Padlet or make a Padlet. And of course, you have gallery ideas where other people have created really great examples of Padlets, right? We can look at the San Francisco Burrito Map. So if you're looking at when you go to San Francisco and you're looking for the right burrito, then it gives you, the map of where all the best burritos are at. And so again, this is a great example of a map that is being used for good purposes. You could do the same thing in the future. There's other stuff that is pretty cool. For example, films. And this is films that remind you about fatherhood and so forth, etc. So I don't want to deviate too much from our goal, but these are some really good examples if you're looking for ideas in the future as to how to organize stuff together. So that is what the gallery is all about. So let's get started with creating a Padlet. And all you have to do is make a Padlet. I suggest that you designate somebody from your team to make a Padlet, and we can break into little sessions if you want to create a Padlet as a team. But this is where you start by creating a Padlet, and then you select the one. I'm going to suggest that you use the wall.
Okay.
So once you select that wall, it's going to give you, it's going to bring this just wide space. In fact, when you first start, it may be just very simple. And it may start asking you, what's the title? So I call this Back in Business. And if you have a group number, you may type it in here. Group number 1, group number 2. If you have a name for your group, then,
At the very least, you guys can just use your platform name. So Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. You want to make it easy.
So you notice that I used Back in Business as my title. And my team is the number 1s. Or let's just say the Bulldogs. Supporting, call it the Bulldogs, supporting Central Valley businesses. I get to choose some of the stuff that that would be important, such as an icon. If I had an icon to celebrate my 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 Padlet, I could just use flags. We could use all sorts of flags. Where's the American flag? I don't see it. Or you can add your own icon for all purposes, right? Or hearts, cards, etc. So I'm gonna just use that smiley universal face, and then my address, so that it's easy to remember as I post it somewhere. It could be like I suggest you use the backing business, right? So you can have your name on it and then backing business. In the future, you may call this your portfolio of items.
Okay. So that would be used if you have a resume, online resume, and you put that on an online business card or on your signature line, and you wanted to promote your portfolio on Padlet. That's what you would use.
That is correct, Dr. Porter. That's exactly right. You may want to say this is my portfolio resume, so you can easily link it to your resume as well, so you can have a visual description of some of your projects.
So when you turn in your paper, you can make sure that link is there, so I'll know where to go.
Exactly, and that's exactly how that's going to work. When you submit your assignment, you're going to submit an actual link, which would be the Padlet, your name, and then the backing business. I'm assuming that you're going to submit this as a group.
Right. So here's the thing. So let me just go ahead and say this. One of the things I might have to do next semester when we do this again is the feedback was probably, now that we have their feet wet, it's probably better to do individual or make it an option, right? So make it so if people want to do it in groups, do it in groups. If we want to do it individually, probably want to do it all together. But so I've allowed them, if they wanted to do it individually, there's still 20 per person to get to the 60. But if they wanted to just have their Padlet individually with their stuff on, I'm allowed them to do that. So guys, if you know if you're going to do it individually, the stuff that he said, so the title, back in business, and then put your name. So there'd be no team name, it'll be your name. And then when you get your link here, you'll put your name. So if you're going to do it in a group, follow his examples as a group. But if you're going to do it individually, just put your name in and it'll only be your stuff. You don't have to do the group stuff. It'll only be your stuff. So if anybody has any questions as we go along, please ask. But if it's individually, it's only your stuff. And if you're going to do a group, then it's the group stuff.
Just a point of clarification, all of you have a unique link or a unique folder that's going to be made out of your name. So you already start with your name associated with that link. So if you see mine, it's padlet.com/Fernando Parra. And then I'm just adding that. I'm changing whatever was the default. At the beginning, I had a bunch of codes. And then I said, well, I'm not going to remember that. So let me just use backing business. So I think that name is going to be defaulted in there. And then the next thing you can look at is the appearance. You can look at just simple solid colors. It could be all black, gray, red. It could just be white, whatever you think it's going to be more exciting for people to see. You can also come up with your own picture, like, it's backing business. You can have colors, whatever you think might be important. Let's just try to keep it consistent with the theme. If you are using more than one person for all of these posts, I suggest that you activate the posting attribution so that you can display the author's name above each post. And then the new post position would be first. As you create more posts, they will be on top, or you can add them at the end. That's just going to be aggregating on top or aggregating from below. And then comments are activated if you want people to be able to comment on the posts, right? And then I'm going to activate some of the reactions to just be, actually, I'm going to say to be a like. Or not have a reaction, but you could have that, right? Or leave me a post, leave me a comment, leave me a reaction. And then some of these, if you wanted to have any content filtering, where if you open this Padlet to other people, you could set up in such a way that it would require you to approve it before it gets released. And then, of course, I always, filter profanity just to make sure that I don't have anybody doing that.
So I don't really have a preference for comments or a reaction. So whatever if you're going to use this for your own portfolio, then think about that, how you want that to be. But that's not for the assignment. That's on personal, opinion.
Perfect. So the next thing I want to do is just start. I'm going to start doing the Padlet, using the pad. And just like in any pad, you are going to start by by activating that plus sign on the corner. Let me do that again. Went too fast. And when you double click anywhere, it drags, you can drag files in, paste from the clipboard, or just click here to post, right? So you can double click here and it starts the actual entry, or over here, wherever you want, right? It's always going to put it on the center. You can always drag a picture and throw it in there, and it's going to post it as well. Let's just say that I had this an image from my computer, or I can just do the plus sign. And once you do the plus sign, the reality here is that you can upload a file from your computer, and you can choose to do this in a couple of ways. Number one, you can take a screenshot, right? Like a snippet of your post. So let's say you're on the Twitter account and this was yours. Then I could do the snipping tool. And if you're using a Mac, I'm not sure what the actual counterpart is. It's taking a screenshot. With Windows, you just type in snipping tool and it can give you this. And you can just take a picture of that and save it.
I think Mac is Control-Shift-3.
Control-Shift-3. So then we're capturing this.
Control-Shift-4.
Command, I think.
Command-Shift-4. Did you all get that? Command-Shift-4 will give you a screenshot. And so I'm going to just capture this, and I'm going to call it, 1. I mean, that is one way to do it, right? And then when I am going back to my Padlet, I can just upload and pick a file from my downloads, and I can say this is just something that I downloaded, right? From my images. So let's take a look at this one. Let me do it again. Okay, so this isn't the wrong one. So let me make this a 1. So when I grab it, it's going to be right there. And then I just open it and voila, I'm uploading the PNG and it's there. So I can write something on it or I can leave it like that. And that's just my sample, right? That's a great way to document this. But, it's difficult because you have to, copy paste all of them, or you could just copy paste them all at a time from your Twitter account, right? And that would help. Another way to do this is by simply grabbing the link. So going to your Twitter account. Let me make sure I'm in the right Twitter account. And let's just say that I just tweeted something. Let me switch accounts. So this was something that one of you guys did, right? So I'm gonna follow Laura. And then I would like to follow the Meetup Fresno, but I couldn't find them in there. So by the way, one of the things that I could do is just simply click on that link, right? Copy link to tweet. and just bring it back to my Padlet, and then just add it in here. The only problem is that it doesn't really resolve the picture that well, but at least it'll be easier to just copy paste, and it will give me a link so that if Professor Porter wants to see it, it's going to just show up, you know, like that. You'll be able to bring it together, right? So that's it. And then you're done. So you keep adding that stuff anywhere. If you have an actual YouTube video that you would do the same thing, you can either get an actual, if you have the actual video, you can upload it, or you can just link it from YouTube. So let's say you're looking at YouTube, and from there you're looking at FBSA, Fresno State. Right, so that is the link. So when I come in here, let me close that. Then I can paste the link to the URL. Does everybody know how to copy an actual link from YouTube? You can either do it from the address bar, or you can add it from.
Okay, gonna try this again. I don't know how to make a video. I barely know how to take a selfie. I'm a very awkward person.
Hi guys, my name is Manny.
My name is Valeria Hernandez. My name is Nancy Gill. I am a senior.
So I'll share this with you guys later. So here you can just put the link, and it would automatically resolve that. You can do the same thing with a Facebook page or with Instagram, as long as your account is public, and as long as that post is public. Any questions, guys?
I and say I don't like the link portion, so don't do the link one. So definitely, I want to either take a snippet or screenshot it, or I want to be able to see it. I don't want to have to go through 500 links.
Right. It's just a lot easier if you can just.
If I can just see it, make it easy for me, please.
Yeah, it would be a lot easier.
It'll be my Thanksgiving. Let my Thanksgiving be happy.
I mean, it takes a little bit of a second to resolve this if you're not in there. So this is just an easy way to getting it done. But the important thing is that if you're using this for future references, right, I would encourage you to start documenting this so that you can show the samples of the work that you're doing. And so I would encourage you to not do the link, but actually take a snippet so you can have an archival of your work.
And also for recruiters or whoever you're sending it to, you don't want to make it harder for them, because they have probably a lot of people, and they might not do that second step or that third step. So if you just, the fact that they went to your Padlet is great. And so you just want to wow them the first time they see it and be like, wow, we need to hire this person. So make it easy for them too. And for the comments for each one, you don't have to give me a comment unless you're mentioning it in your paper. If you're mentioning something in your paper, you need to somehow let me know on the Padlet what you're referring to. You don't have to, but I'm just saying, if you're referring to something in the Padlet, in your paper, as an example of something, I won't know unless you maybe give me a comment. So maybe put, figure A1 or illustration 3 or B or whatever, but somehow label it so I know what you're talking about. Or you can cut it, like have it in the Padlet, but you can also, maybe it's easier if you just put it in the paper too. If there's something, you don't have to do all 60, but if you're saying as an example of what on my whatever, you can put that same picture in the actual deliverable. So that makes it easy for me too. So just keep in mind, make it easy for me to grade.
Perfect. Let me just send a message real quick. It's done. So this is it, guys. This is Padlet. It's very, very simple. Again, once you want to share this, you just share this with the public. You can copy a link to a clipboard. You can get a QR code and embed it somewhere. You can embed it on your website. You can send it by email, post it on Twitter, share on Facebook, and just tell everybody, be part of this, right?
LinkedIn? No share on LinkedIn?
You want to share it on LinkedIn as well? You can always copy a link to the clipboard, and then that's going to be able to put it on LinkedIn if you needed to. So let's just say that that this was mine. I would go to LinkedIn and use that. Happy to be. And always when you do LinkedIn, I think it's always best not to say, "Look at what I've done," right? But it's always best to turn around and say, "Thank you for giving me an opportunity to support my businesses. Thank you." So when you thank somebody else, you're being really gracious about the way you're demonstrating your work, and that's always really useful. And so this is going to be interesting.
No, I don't know if you would put it on as a status. You'll put it on as maybe your on your bio.
On your bio, on your bio, you
Like, you want them to, if they go to your page to see it, if they put in your status, then it's going to be like, 2 years, 3 years later, or months. News is happening every minute, so you might get lost in your statuses. But if you put it like on your bio, or I think it has a link, because that we've seen people have links in their underneath the bio. So
right. Perfect. All right. Well, then this is it, guys. This is as far as the Padlet is concerned. It's a very manual way of doing stuff. Very, very manual way of doing it. You want to see
have any questions? When he's talking about the pictures where you see the lights there, if you have a theme, if you were doing, I don't know if there's a theme to what you were doing, but remember, everything in life is a narrative. Everything in life is a story. So if you can make it into a story. So this looks like maybe a festive outdoor eatery, and then you have the food that might fit into an outdoor eatery for that background, or whatever. If you have a color scheme, like you said, if it's red is your thing and all the stuff reflects red or something. But if you can if there's a pattern or a narrative you can give to it, then that makes people comprehend it better. So, but that's just presentation. Presentation counts a lot, but that that's not a huge thing on your paper. But if you can think about it, like we talked about last week, and how do you design how it looks and feels, that putting that extra thought will make yours stand out, where people just putting their stuff up, I want to say willy-nilly. And so there's no, it's jumping from this to that to this to that. And it makes people, confuse people. And then they tune out. Once again, people, it's information overload. You've made it easy for them. You don't want them to tune out. If it's too hard, people give up these days. So make it easy. So any questions? I know some people have already, they maybe made a Google sheet or made a Google, somehow, stored their images. But did anybody have any questions on, did they ever start the Padlet already, or any questions on how to do it? It's really that easy. You sign in, you create a theme, put your name if it's individual or group, you make your link, make your background, and then you start to, I guess you would do it chronologically, right? So, first week, second week, third week. And then that, that's just the visuals, right? So that's, any questions?
Do you have a preference on how we sort it? Like, do you want it by week, or do you want it by platform?
I think I want it by week.
Okay.
Because then that grows. That maybe momentum. Like the first week may be a little slow, and then the second week, how that look, and the third and fourth week. You can mix the platforms in, because then that shows the variety, and probably, if it's the same content, how maybe it differ from platform to platform, right? So I think by week is the best way to do it.
So you'd want us to include a screenshot of the Padlet in the paper, or do you want like a link?
No, you're gonna put a link in the paper to the Padlet, and so I'm gonna click on the link and go to the Padlet.
Okay, cool.
No, not, but I'm saying that, but if there's something in the paper you're referring to the Padlet, I'm probably not gonna have both of them up, right? So I mean, who knows how I'm doing for my Thanksgiving. So if it's something in particular, you can cut and paste that screenshot in the paper, but it doesn't have to be the whole 60 or the whole 30 or the whole 20, however you guys decide to do that. But the link, and I'll just look at the Padlet, probably at the same time I read the paper.
Perfect.
Any other ones? You have, once again, it's November 24th, so you have basically a month. I would suggest you can submit it early. You don't have to wait till the the week of Thanksgiving. You can submit it early and get it out the way. And then if you want to revise it, you can upload multiple versions, right? So I would suggest maybe trying it out, or doing a couple of day, a couple of week, so you don't have to wait all at the last minute, and then submit something. And then if you think about, talk to your classmates, and I forgot that, you can submit something else all up until the deadline. So don't think I'm killing your Thanksgiving by putting it on that week. You can do it early. You have a month.
Wonderful, guys. I also wanted to show you really quickly how the IFB is putting together all of your comments into one single stream. So I use a service called Juicer Aggregator, right? So Juicer is one of the many aggregators out there that brings social media posts and aggregates it based on either a tag or an account. And so there's in this particular one, the Juicer gives you 4 different approaches to having your accounts be aggregated. However, if you want to aggregate Twitter, they'll charge you $20 a month. So I don't want to necessarily get you to do so. What else? So, but let me just show you how it basically works, right? Let me switch to.
The only one they charge is Twitter?
The only one they charge is Twitter. So if you use Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you'll be able to use it for free.
That's interesting. Interesting.
Right, and that's because so then you have to first connect your Facebook account, and I really don't want to do that because I have too many nonsense in my Facebook or my Instagram. But let me if you want to go ahead and create a quick account, let me sign out really quick and show you how it really works. So you start by signing up for free. And I'm going to create a password for it. And so you sign up for free, and then you have to confirm your email. So I'm going to go into my email to actually do that confirmation very quickly. I'm using a separate account just to make sure that I'm not, because I've already used my official account and that's already set up. And I'll jump into that in a minute. So having said that, I'm going to go into my second account and confirm this account quickly. Let's see. Just one more second to activate the account. You should be able to activate it as well. There you go. No reply, confirmation instructions. I am confirming my account really quickly. Upon doing so, it will let me go in there. And so as soon as I activate, then it will let me plug in my user account. So I can have something like Fernando Parra, right? And this is my actual YouTube user account. Let me see if I'm able to get that. So it will automatically, I guess that's not mine. There's another Fernando Parra. So I guess somebody else has that. So I can go back and go to my social media sources and change that. So let me delete this. So let me add another social media source, YouTube. I can use Vacuum Business as an actual source. Let's see if it brings YouTube hashtags. Again, that is just aggregating all the Vacuum Business stuff that is tagged in actual in social media and YouTube. And so if you had your own account, then you want to filter that. So you can moderate and filter, and you could say, well, let me moderate. Of course, if you want to moderate that, you have to pay a membership. So it's best that you connect to your individual account, your individual social media source, so that only the stuff that you post and you can always pin something and delete something else, right? You can always create this. This is my Fernando Parra juicer. So anytime that I want to post this, I can embed it anywhere on a website or anything else, right? So let me show you how it actually works once you connect all the accounts together. Let me log out real quick and log into the official Twitter. And so this one has several accounts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, create a user. No, I want to log in instead. Log in with Twitter. All right, so this is what's happening in here. In fact, I need to kind of activate this one because it's gotten it's every 6 months every 2 months it's gonna activate. Once I activate one social media source, then I can actually set the moderation, right? Like, I'm sorry that I'm using words like that. I have to filter stuff that unfortunately was being pulled into some of our streams. So there was some stuff some bad actors that were posting stuff that was not very nice. So I had to use some very specific words that were obscene to filter them out. Okay. And so, once you can actually aggregate by adding a source, right? In this case, I have Instagram username Fresno State IFB. Do I have? I think that's it. So now I have all of my Instagrams, right, from that are being put into that same source. And then I can set moderations as well and filters. So anything that I'm posting with that account will be pulled in. Here I see that anything that it has Fresno or back in business together, it's going to be pulled in. And if I don't like something, I can just always hide it. And this is automatically feeding the stream. It's filtering for certain obscenity words and stuff like that. Otherwise, it gets pulled in. So this is a very easy way to connect that. Let's just say that you wanted to have another feed. Let me just create a feed from the beginning. I think I'm able to have more than one. So I can have another feed that says it's just going to be an Instagram hashtag. I could connect via Facebook. I don't have, or let me just use my username. Yeah, so that's the one that I'm using. So if you're tagging somebody as if you're posting stuff as in your Instagram, it's going to automatically bring it in. Let's say that I had a LinkedIn. So if I had a LinkedIn, then I could collect my LinkedIn account, and it will show anything that I'm posting here as well. Which one should I try? Which one did you use the most?
I think people probably use Instagram the most.
Is that what the case was?
Okay. Yeah, Instagram.
All right, so it's just a lot easier to just, and it's free. I think it's free to just use the Instagram source. So no matter what you're posting, it's going to be in there. So let's try that, guys, and then it will be free, and that may be a good way for you guys to.
They also had to use LinkedIn. So whoever got LinkedIn, whoever got Twitter, probably going to be, in a little bit of a disadvantage because Twitter you got to pay, and LinkedIn should be fine, but yeah.
You could have a Twitter feed, but it's not going to last. So I was going to show you another product, but it only shows 7 posts.
Well, that's okay.
I think this is good enough in terms of. But what I wanted to show you with this is that just like I'm able to post and filter stuff together, I'm able to bring that into an actual website. And it's just a matter of embedding that, as simple as that, right? So if I go back to my juicer, I can bring this particular Fresno State IFB feed, and now that's becoming a feed. I can also add another social media source such as YouTube and say, let me use the hashtag or my username. In this case, I think my username should have been, let me see if I have a username for YouTube. Channels. I think this is the one that you would use, the actual end. Let's see if that's the case. So yeah, you see how everything is being aggregated now. And now this is going to be shown into my stream. And so I can keep aggregating sources. The free version only gives you two choices. And if you only use 2 media sources, then that's all you would need to just activate that. If you are trying to add a social media source such as your Twitter, you'll have to pay. Facebook, you can do a personal account. You can do a group. You can actually create or reviews, right? So let me see if I have an actual page, and I can just bring this up. And then there you go. So now you're mixing up stuff that is on YouTube, and now with Institute for Family Business stuff that is being posted on that particular source. So again, this is useful in a way that lets you start aggregating stuff across the board, not just stuff that you author. You could also follow a hashtag, but if you're going to follow a hashtag, then be careful. I wouldn't, don't just repost stuff that without filtering, because people can misuse the name. So basically that's what the juicer is all about. If you're more interested in finding out, there's stuff out there, they have their own media, or I can follow up with a conversation if you're interested in learning more about it.
Well, I'll start. Let's say you use Juicer just to get all your posts together. Now, what do you think is the best way to get it to Padlet? There's no way you can just maybe do a group snippet or group screenshot, so you probably just do one at a time.
If you're able to do this if you're able to do this with the free version, then I think I would suggest that you submit this link on top. It is already your Padlet, if you will, because if anybody looks at it right from outside without having access to this, they'll be able to go in and see it. I'm sorry, let me go back and.
Are you suggesting putting that link in Padlet and then it'll all show up?
Yeah, it will show up, absolutely. So the way it does is, so this is, let me close this. Let me make sure that I have this feed. So this is the Fresno State IFB feed. And my understanding is that all you have to, if you embed it in your site, you can just do this. You can do an embedded site, Fresno State IFB, or so you can just embed it like that, or you can just have an iframe.
Give me an example. Go ahead and do it. Embed it into Padlet.
Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can get it done. Let's make a Padlet.
We're trying to save you from individually putting it up, but even individually putting up 20 per person is not going to be a hard thing. We're just trying to make it a little easy for you.
I think you should be able to enter. Okay, so Padlet won't let you do that, but if you go to Canvas, you should be able to submit that. Let me see if I.
What do you mean Canvas?
Like in Canvas, your link can be just that. Let me make sure that is the case, guys. Let me see. This should be the link.
Yeah, but they're not turning in Juicer.
I see.
Right. So this would be just a way for you to get all your stuff together, and then individually cut and paste. Screenshot each one.
Oh, here it is. Be your public feed. There you go. So it's without the feed. So if you choose this, right, if you go back to your, sorry guys, I got lost for a second. If you just share your feed as a link, you can just view that and copy that, which is just the name of the actual link. So it could be your name, back in business or something like that, and you should be able to do that link, but it's not going to show the actual public stuff because it's too much to link. So instead, I would just submit that link, right? So that when instead of opening the link for Padlet, you should be able to see this instead.
So what we'll do is this will help you get them all together. Then you individually cut and paste each post to Padlet, and we'll have them all there looking nice and pretty. Now, Fernando, what do you think? And also students, what do you think? You know, Hootsuite aggregates a lot of your stuff too. So you might be able to get them all together in Hootsuite and then cut and paste them over too. So we're just trying to, help you from having to go through all your platforms and then finding each post. Because I'm sure after you posted, then you probably had other posts and people have hag tagged you or mentioned you. So it won't be organized on your, on your Facebook or your Instagram. And so we're thinking if you use Juicer or Hootsuite to get them all together, then it'll just be easier for you to cut and paste. That's what we're trying to do. You see what we're trying to do, students? We're trying to just make it easier for you to aggregate them. But if you just have to do it one at a time, there's 20 per person, you should be able to just find them. So.
Yeah, I had a question.
Okay.
So do you need each social media platform, each post from each platform? Or just, how did you want to do that? Because we'd have to do, like if I was doing individual, I'd have to do 60 screenshots of basically 20 posts on each platform.
60, say it again. You don't have to, you don't have to put up the ones that you did. But if yours is like 15 and somebody else did 25, that's fine. I still know your group, but you don't have to put up all 60. You only have to put up the ones that you did. You understand that, Austin?
Okay. And then so it doesn't matter what platform we screenshot and put up there?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
It can be mixed. I know Lisa asked, I want it chronologically, but if it's better looking, like all I did was Instagram, then you just put all Instagram up. Or if you did,
because they're all the same posts anyway. They're just on.
Yeah, I mean, however, if it's, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, like if that's all mixed in, or if it's all Instagram and the dates and then all Facebook, if I can understand what your pattern is, right? I just don't want it to be, early in the month, late in the month, right next to each other. And then if it just looked like it just threw it up, I don't want to just be thrown up. I want it to be some kind of pattern or story or narrative, in that if I can't see it looking at your Padlet, then I'll look at your paper, and then you'll tell me in the paper, this is how I organized it, right? This is how it's, this is our plan, or this is how we decided to do it. So, I prefer chronological order, and then I don't really care how you do the platforms. But basically, if it's individually, you're probably just going to put it up, based on the dates. And then however the platforms, if you only did one platform, then it's only one platform. But if you did all three, then you just do it by the dates. Seems like the most logical way to do it. Is that okay, Austin?
Yeah, so we could just screenshot whatever Twitter or whatever, and then just call it week 1, and then put all the posts from Twitter, and then week 2 all from Twitter, just so we can screenshot all from one platform instead of having to screenshot from every platform. That makes sense.
I mean, you can put all the Twitters together. With other platforms, you got to put the other platforms you did.
So we need screenshots from every platform
that you posted on. Yeah.
Okay.
So remember, you represented certain businesses, like at least 3 to 4. So the businesses that you put up, however platforms you use, you have to put that on the Padlet. So I know which one you did and what platform you did. If you're doing it individually, but do you know if your group is doing it individually or as a group?
No, not yet. We're still deciding.
So just, if it's individually, I just need to see what you put up. However, the platform, if it's all Twitter in the first week, that's fine. And if you did Instagram, you can put that second, as a group or as a column. But hopefully, let's talk it out. This is what this class is for. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Am I not answering it properly?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I have, so on my Padlet, I actually have the one in columns. So you would scroll down. So the way I would have it is like week 1, and then the oldest one would be at the top. So you'd scroll down and see the newest one at the bottom, right?
Yep, if that's it, I can understand that pattern. So like I said, as long as I can understand the pattern, I don't. So yeah, so the top one is the most recent one.
No, the top one is the oldest one because you
Okay.
want it, you said you chronological, right? So,
Yeah. Yep.
and then do you want us to like label it, like each image has the date labeled on it? Does that make it
Yes.
easier for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fernando, it doesn't have the dates on it. But I think if you cut and paste the snippet, I think it has the date on it already. But if it doesn't have the date, I need the date.
Okay, yeah, because I took, every time I posted, I already took like a snippet of it. So it just says like 5 minutes ago or something on it.
Oh.
I could redo them.
Yeah, I need the date.
Okay.
All right. Austin, I feel like I don't have your answer though. I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you hanging.
No, you're good. Because I know what the order and everything you want, but because if I was doing mine individually, and so you want to see every platform I've used, right?
Correct.
And you want to see every post from every platform
that you use. Yes.
So I use 3 platforms and I post 20 posts on each platform. So that's 60 screenshots, right?
That would be 60 screenshots then, yes.
Or can I just say, hey, I did these are all my screenshots from Twitter, but this is the post on the other platforms as well, so I can save myself 40 screenshots in like another hour of screenshot.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, I would like to see your work. But
because each post is the same, so it's not like I did anything different.
Oh, okay. If it's just really the same one on each different platform, then just give me your handle for each other platform. I don't think everybody did it this way, but just give me, if you did to Twitter, and then just give me your Instagram and Facebook, and then I can see it. I can go. Okay. That one I would go because you have all 20 right there. And then if you're saying I did the same thing on Instagram and Facebook, then I can just click and see.
So you want the post like dispersed throughout the document, or do you want them like all together?
I want them all together. I don't know what disperse means, but I want them all together. I want it. There has to be whatever organization you choose. But what do you mean all together?
May I interject, Dr. Porter? I don't know if this is a suggestion, but if you're only posting for this campaign and you're able to aggregate them all by taking a big screenshot of your Twitter account per se, well, then that might be sufficient, right? If you're only tweeting for this purpose, then you may you may be able to see the chronological order of your tweets altogether. So I think that you'll be able to fit like maybe 3 at a time, if that saves you some time. Does that respond to your question? Who was it? I'm sorry, was it Richard or
Eddie? I think it was Eddie.
Oh, was it? So I mean that's and so they don't necessarily need to be separated one at a time, if that helps. But it should be clear that Dr. Porter could read what you posted and the time.
I mean, I guess if it's back in business, but I think they're using an individual one, so they may have other tweets in between. Right?
Yeah. So, we don't want to see you cheering up.
Hopefully I do. Hopefully it's something I'd be impressed with, but just if it's not back in business. So Eddie, if you just put it maybe your if you did Twitter and you just have them all in a column, that's fine. And then if you have the other 2 in other columns, that's fine. I don't know how disperse means. What does disperse mean?
Like I meant, like, would you like them like in a certain section if we're talking about something, and then put like pictures there, and then then again, but I guess I see what you're saying. You kind of just want them all together, so it makes
yeah. But I think it's just like a blank like you just saw. It's a blank canvas, and you put them up however you want to. So she did a column, but if you want to do horizontally, just rows, that's fine too. And then have them be the weeks. But
yeah, for Padlet,
right? Marketing is a little bit of creativity too. So I just want them organized. However you want to organize them, as long as I can see that they're organized, I will accept it. But if it's just scattered plot, then I'll just get confused and I assume that there's no order.
There's a timeline too.
You said there is no timeline, or there is a timeline?
No, there is like a timeline. So if you want to put it in order of
Makes
the
sense.
date, so you could put that one.
Yeah, 100%. That will be very helpful. And it'll prove how you did it, right? So it's just exactly how you did it if you follow your own timeline. Shaman, you have a question?
Yeah. So the juicer that you were talking about, that's just like another platform for just kind of like Padlet, right?
To get them all together so you can cut and paste them from something. You don't have to use Juicer. It's just a way for it just seemed like, you'll put them all together easy, and you'll be able to just maybe in one night, be able to maybe 2 nights, be able to do the project. At least do the Padlet part of the project.
So if I just do Padlet, that'd be fine, right? I don't have to
Oh
worry
no,
about
yeah, the Padlet is, yeah, the
Okay.
Juicer and maybe even Hootsuite will allow you to see them all in one place, so you can cut and paste them together.
But no,
Yeah,
it's
Hootsuite
You don't have
does
to use
too
it. You don't have to use
confusing.
it.
Okay,
You don't
yeah,
have to use it at
that
all.
sounds.
Dr. Parra, is it easy to just, I assume you can just drag it, once you get them all together, you can drag them to whatever order you want?
To a certain extent, yes, but they're all going to be filled in to the top.
Okay.
Like they're all, they're all going to be. The more you aggregate, yes, you can move them around to answer the question, but they still need to fill the wall all the way to the top.
So you're saying you can't start at the bottom?
I don't believe that's the case. Yes, you can say start at the bottom, but you're going to fill it up anyway.
Right, exactly.
Okay, folks. Well, thank you so much for having me. Any more questions before I go and start the night of an evening of a lot of work, I should say.
Any questions for Dr. Parra? I can't think of any off the top of my head. We're gonna go right now after you get off. We're gonna go over the assignment again, just so they know what they have to deliver. But you don't need to be on for that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, guys, and thank you for your contributions.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful service.
Thank you.
Very impressive.
Well, wait, one more thing. Can you tell them about the